It has worked. Righty-ho. I have a feeling I'm going to need to drink a lot. Excuse. So, can we all hear me? Can we all see the picture clearly? Is everything okay? Before we even get started. I love how everyone's now attacking Pyro because I beat him to round 3. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Perfect. We're all good. I'm bullying Pyro again, even though I've got nothing to do with his tier, unfortunately. So, hello, howdy. So, I'm going to make a start because I can, and also because it's been a no, we'll give it another minute. Let's give it another minute. Let's give people some time to get in. Right. Now that everybody, well, I say everybody, now that all the people that care, or the 4 people that actually care about the comms and seeing tier 5 do tier 5 things are here. Now that's a good point. What is with the no ABS? I didn't even spot that. Hello, Nathan. Right, so we're going to go through the grid order. We got Quack in first position in the Ferrari, so a fantastic qualifying session for him. We've then got Cap, understandably, up into second place. Round 2 at Road Atlanta did do him some good. We then got Slav in third. Hopefully there is no disconnect this time. Hopefully we do not see a flying Spaniard. The last flying Spaniard we witnessed got shot down by the United States Air Force and eradicated from the racetrack, but we'll gloss over that for a minute. We then got Zab in 4th position. We got Nathan in 5th, so a good job from Nathan. We got Major in 6th, the other Ferrari 5 positions back from his teammate, still in the top 10, so good from him. We then got the, if my memory serves me correctly, where's the standings? We then got the current championship leader by 18 points in 7th. The person who is going to be his contender at the moment is Cap, who's in 2nd. So Nectar's going to got some work on his hands, in my opinion. Excuse me. We then got Fracas in 8th. How does the host with host advantage and host privilege end in 8th? We then got Zimmer in 9th. We have then got, I believe, a Frenchman is a new addition. Am I correct? I believe so. Yeah, he's in the Jag. So we then got a Frenchman in a Jag. We got Beaumont. It's Beaumont. Michael Beaumont. It says brackets S Dandy. Why does it say S Dandy? Okay, whatever. We then got Monk in 11th. We then got Monty in 12th. We got the first 15th. So really surprising to see the 2 BMWs right at the back of the pack. As someone sent a message. It's a reserve driver. Bonjour. Yes, bonjour. Okay, so we got a reserve driver. We then got Finn in 15th, and then we have got the other Watermelon in last position. Now, I just want to drag your attention to something. So, in Road Atlanta, you guys lasted a single corner in the dry. Now, considering this is a wet track, it means the surface is slippery. It means you have to be careful. Considering I'm looking at 16 cars that are pristine, I think we're going to get to turn 1 and they're all going to be ruined. Places where I think could be a crash, I'm looking at the whole circuit and I'm thinking there's going to be someone somewhere that crashes at every point. That's my guess. In my tier 4, to be fair, we're no better. There was a crash turn 1, turn 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There was a crash. That's where I took the lead for the sprint on the final lap because my teammate very nearly stacked it. He saved it, bless him. There was a crash there. Turn 8, the right-hander. Turn 9, the other right-hander, there was another crash. Turn 10, there was a tap. Turn 11, there was several crashes. Turn 12 and 13, there was several crashes. 14, there was a crash. I think 15 was okay. 130R of 16 was okay, and the chicane at the end I think was okay, but considering it's tier 5, I'm going to go everywhere on that little illustration up there is going to be an issue. I say an issue, it's not going to be an issue. There's going to be something going on, I believe. Make it moist. Hey, this is a PG kids show, okay? Okay, Nathan, you should have learned from last week. You never ever tell me something that you have done or that said, oh thank God you missed that, because I will go back and I will put you to shame if it's not that far back. Or I'll wait till the very end and then go back and find it. And then do a little video of it. And have someone edit it in, or just do like a little special. You should never tell me things. Anyway, we got 3 red lights, 4, 5 red lights, revs building. Now it is wet circuit, so who's gonna... as the Mazda just completely stalls on the start. Fracas has got himself up 2 positions. Zav has lost himself out on loads. I'm gonna just follow you guys through as you guys have made it through a corner. Yes, everyone's just about alive. Right, let's go back up through those. Okay, never mind, I'll take that back. I'm going to... What the f... Right, so it's... Right, so our host is now up to 5th position, doing really well, may I just say. Be careful on the racing line. Usually, I'll come back to this in a minute. Okay, so Fracas just does it himself. Slav, I have no idea what happens to Slav. What happens to you, buddy? Okay, the pair of you just ditch it yourselves. I thought something going on. I thought there was excitement for a minute there, but no, you guys just ditch it yourselves. That's just boring. At least make it entertaining for me. So as we come through up the long left-hander, you want to be very, very careful coming through here, because too much gas too quickly, and the rear end will start to step out like it is for Major at the moment. Did a good job at controlling it, so we're coming into the 2 right-handers. Let's see, let's watch other people as they come through. I think everybody's behaving. Yep, everybody's living. So Cap's in 1st, with Quack in 2nd, we missed that. Major's in 3rd, Nathan's in 4th. The reserve driver in the Jag is doing fantastic. He's gone from pretty much almost plumb last up to 5th, so 10th, sorry, up to 5th, so good job from him. And they got Nectar in 6th, we got Schumacher in 7th, again, good job from him. We got Finn in 8th, we got Zimmer staying about the same sort of place. We then got Pippa in 10th, we got Monty in 11th. So I'm just watching as we get a bit argy-bargy going around the left-hander. Careful, Zimmer loses out a spot to Pippa. Monty could just about keep that Corvette under control as we come charging up the hill up to 130R. Is that something going on in the background? Zab has lost himself out a load of spots. He did start 7th. Anybody die through 130R? No, Monty has a look up the inside of Zimmer. That's not going to work this time. We're going to jump on board this and side by side further up ahead as well. Who was that? That's Nathan and Quack. So Quack started on pole. He's now down into 4th after 1 lap. So good job. But then the Quack comes back. He's just got a much better drive than Nathan. Potentially losing out to the Jaguar as well. But Nathan on the grippier part of the line breaks later. So good job from Nathan. So in the wets. Whoa. What the... Oh. Let's go back and watch that again. So I think Slav just... What? Huh? I'm confused. How the f... Right, so... Oh... Okay, I see. So he brakes on the slippy part, moves to the grippy bit and loses control of the car. That I see is just really unfortunate that Obi-Wan got caught with that. So now Obi-Wan and Slavman's race is just gone. Now, what I was going to start saying, as we look through the grid, as I look through a grid for the battle, which I think is just going to have to stick around this main pack. In the wets, when it's wet conditions and you're on intermediates and you're on wet tyres, you want to brake off the racing line. So funny enough, you kind of want to do the reverse. Oh my god, it's carnage back here. Right, so Zimmer's back up to 9th, Monty's back up to 10th, Pip is down to 11th after losing 2 positions, Schumacher's up to 8th. As we're going to see a move, no we're not. So, basically, in the wet, as I was saying, as we were watching these guys go through and everybody survives, which is really, really nice to see. You want to brake offline when it's wet, because online there's no rubber at all. There's no rubber on the ground, as Schumacher has a little look, so does Zimmer. Everybody files through nicely. What's going on at the back? Pippa, very nearly had it. Let's jump back on board. So Pippa has a look around the outside on Monty. Can we make that work? No, just touches the Astro on the entry. Very nearly collects them. He does collect the Mazda, so now both Mazdas are going to try and overtake the 2 green cars. Let's watch as we got Zabu's gone past Pippa's. We got Monk and Fracas going into 139, nearly side by side, but Fracas wisely backs out of it. So, oh my god, what's going on up here? I'm missing all the shenanigans. Let's jump on board. So Zimmer having a look at the inside of Finn, wisely backs out of it. Finn goes off the track. Schumacher comes back. Schumacher has a look and goes up the inside. So really good move there by Schumacher. Nice. Oh, I can't want to say a block pass, to be honest. It is a block pass. I want to say a nice block pass there by Schumacher onto Zimmer. Nicely done, as I'm going to say again for like the 5th time. The rubber, there's so much marbles and rubber off the racing line. It's actually a lot better if you break off the racing line until about this sort of point now. So if you look at the moisture meter down the bottom left, we're entering the territory of slicks. So if it was on the sprint race that I had, I can't see the weather radar, my teammate and I, we stayed out on inters the whole time. People pitted for slicks and then had to come back in again for inters, so it was just wasting time. So when it's really, really wet, you want to brake offline to grab the extra grip, grab the rubber that's left on the track to help you stop and help you slow down. As Schumacher goes up the end, I'm going to do it back again. Let's have a look as we want. Goes around the left-hander, goes up the hill, gets it all sorts of slightly wrong. Schumacher goes up the inside. Really, really good move from Schumacher, and here comes Zimmer as well. And shuts the door on Beaumont. And it says bonjour. And it sniffed my exhaust pipes. And through goes the Supra to go and chase down 6th position of Schumacher. Now Beaumont is starting on the wet tyres, so really the inters are going to be the best now. So everyone on wets is now going to really start to struggle. Now yes, the tyre wear is only at 2 times tyre wear, but these tyres, especially in conditions like now, they're just going to burn. So the best way to really stand through this sort of like condition now, when you're on the straight, find some wet track. Now I know it sounds daft, but if you find the wet track, it cools the tyres down, prolonging the life of the tyre. So again, on the sprint that my teammate and I did down this section, we went to the wet part of the track to try and really, let's find a battle whilst we're talking. So here we go. As Cap comes in. Now, so does Nathan, so does Nectar. So the Alfa Romeos are following. So does Zimmer, so does Bermu, so does Fracas. Anyone else coming in? Jin's not. Slav's already on the softs and has already decided to go cross country, and Obi-Wan's on the mediums. You should have gone softs. It's 2 times tyre wear. You got 4 laps at the end of this lap. You should have gone softs. So, wait. Okay, fair enough. Well, to be fair, it's not bad. This is kind of a safe bet. Where's Fracas come out on? Fracas has come out on softs and just been undercut by Slav. So we got Nectar on the softs, we got Nathan on the softs, we got Finn still on the wets, and we got Cap on the softs as well, down in 8th position. So he's got 4 laps to get from 8th all the way up to 1st as Quack. What's happened to Quack? So Quack's now chasing down his teammate Major as we go through the right-hand return 8, I believe. Ooh, that's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. Just be careful on the rejoin as here comes Schumacher. And Schumacher takes his 3rd position away from Quack. Yeah, he gets a move done before the kink, before the hairpin, but Quack's not done yet. That was close. That was very, very close. So, because some people are a whole grid out of whack. Right, whilst we got 2 seconds. There we go. Now the sprint session. Oh, let's jump back. Sorry, a second. I'm trying to multitask, and men multitasking is not a good thing. We can't do it. We can do it. We can't do it that well as Monk gets a really good line through that. Monty just gets it slightly wrong, which allows Monk to go up the inside and gets that and gets up to 4th position. Monty moving down to 5th, but with Zab really close behind him. It'll be interesting any of these on. That'd be why Monty's on the wets. That's the wrong tyre. So here's a perfect example. Monty's on pretty much a dry track on wet tyres, so he's just got no grip, and in a lap look at his tyres after a lap, and here comes Cap, here comes the net race leader. Oh, Monty's going to stay out as everyone else dives into the pits to get off those intermediates, so Monty just about holds on and holds up Cap, but it's not going to be for too much longer. Schumacher stays out as well. Everybody else dives into the pits to get onto those slicks. It'd be good if I had a radar. So look at the grip difference just through these through turn 2, 3, and 4, because as Cap takes 2nd position, around the outside of the Corvette. There's the grip difference on a dry track between the wets and the dries. Oh, careful, Cap, as you don't want to get too cocky. So, Cap now in full control of 2nd position. He's now going to be chasing down Schumacher, which I don't think is going to take him too long, as you don't want to get... You've got to be careful on the slicks. You can't take too much exit curb, you can't take too much entry curb, you can't really leave the racing line too much, as you can see. Now, in the sprint race session that I had around this circuit as we come away, because I want to have a little look through the rest of the grid, I'm going to watch Major for a minute because I want to see if Major can catch up with Monty, which I think he will. My teammate and I stayed on the inters the whole time because it continuously went from, as Monty goes wide again. Monty, what's going on, my friend? Just sends it in a bit too hot. Just allows Major straight up the inside, but look at his tyres. They're going really, really quickly now, and it's only 2 times tyre wear. And here's Nectar. Here's the championship leader at the moment, having a look up the inside at 130R. I wouldn't. I'd wait. That's a good choice because look at the grip difference. Monty has to come in. He's going to be burning up so much time if he's not careful, as Nectar nearly doesn't make the corner. And this is what I was saying, you've got to be so... There we go, good lad. You got to be so careful on the exits on dry tyres, because like Nectar nearly proved to us, you can lose it quite easily. So Quack goes up into 5th position. Fracas is up into 7th. No, up into 6th, sorry. Still ahead of Lamont, who's on the inters. If it starts to rain this lap, he's in a really good spot, as Finn is now holding up the whole of the grid. Oh, I say whole of the grid, half the grid, as we now got a finished train. As Finn is still on wets. What? My brain hurts. So Zab looking around for any way past, but he's got to make it quick, because that's not the ideal racing line, but it's going to help him a little bit. What's happened? Who's that? Who the hell is that? Pippa? What's happened to Pippa? Oh, that's what's happened. Right, so it's mediums versus the softs. Pippa's already right. So Pippa's here. Pippa here is already on the wet side of the track. That's dry, that's wet. You can see by the different shades on the track what's going on. Okay, Slav had a bit of a snap there, then there. You can see the trajectory here. And Pippa's also got a little bit of moisture, on the ground, on a moisture meter. Slav has nothing. Slav is steering straight though. Now he's turning after contact. Contact was a frame or so ago. But look at the trajectory. This car's going that way, and that car's going that way. I'm surprised that both these incidents involving the Spaniard haven't been reported. One was with the, funny enough, this car. Now the other one's with this car. Yeah, that's on Slav. Both instances were on Slav, and I think there might be another one. Good move, by the way. Getting past everyone correctly and cleanly this time. That's what we got up here. This Krakows has an off again. Oh yeah, that's not going to help. There's no mushrooms over there. There's no mushrooms at all. There's no extra lives. There's no shiny stars. Careful on the rejoin. Oh my Jesus Christ. What's... That's... What the... What the fuck? Hold on a minute. First of all, why is Nathan back here? Oh, he pitted. Nah? Okay, first of all, why is Nathan back here? He should be up around here with his teammate. So something's happened to Nathan I have completely missed. Yeah, he may be planting some. Second of all, how the what? Ah, that'll explain it. That'll explain that. Careful on the rejoin. There we go. Good job. Good rejoin. That's how you rejoin. Take notes. Nathan, I know you're in here. What the hell happened? Did you pit again? Or did you crash? Oh, good thing we moved up because we have now got Zab versus Beaumont as we're going up to 130 yards. Wow. Zeb does a Fernando Alonso on Michael Schumacher, goes around the outside. I believe both. That man has a family. I don't. I believe everybody here has a family. I'm 99% sure everybody does, and I hope they do. But wow, that was a move, let alone in the damp conditions like it is now in here. As Beaumont's about to come under threat from the Zimmer as well. Oh, that'll explain I crashed. Okay, fair enough. So, Beaumont slowly dropping back to the order, but like I was going to say at the start, I think I'm going to say, or I already have said, if it starts absolutely throwing it down the rain right now. Ah, okay, fair enough. If you drop to 16th and you're now 10th, fair play, mate. As we come back, as Dex, Pippa and Quackhouse are now going to have a little battle. Let's stay on this for a little bit. Ooh, the interior of this. I quite like that. But we're not after interiors, we're after some good camera angles and camera work from your boy that cannot do camera work as someone else has come off. Zab. No. And Beaumont. What the I go away for 2 seconds. Yeah, it's exactly the same as Quack did it, and exactly the same. I tell you what, with ghosting, ghosting's meant to be turned off, and people are ghosting. People's rejoins, people need to improve their rejoins. Beaumont's was obviously a lot easier because there's no one behind him, but Zab, who's now just lost out to Obi-Wan, you need to just be a little bit more careful on your rejoin, because you nearly just had Nathan annihilate your ass. Literally. Anyway, enough about arse annihilation, let's move on. So, yeah, I can't even remember what I was saying now. Let's have a little look through at what we got. Fracas is up to fill. Oh, careful, Fracas, I nearly saw that. Oh, that was it, we're on about tyres. So if it really starts to hammer it down now, both Schumacher and Beaumont are in a really good position. Now, Schumacher, yes, his tyres are pretty much done. If he goes off onto the wet line and actually drives over the wet stuff for a second or two, for a little bit, it'd actually help his tyres a lot. Now, Fracas is on the softs. It is now a bone dry track. So yes, the softs are obviously going to be quicker, but Schumacher, considering he started very near the back and now he's up to 4th and potentially he's fighting, well, he's now 5th because Fracas just driven around the outside of him. Schumacher holds track position. Who else ahead? Who else isn't in Inters? He's the only one that hasn't boxed at all, and he's in 5th. Schumacher's going to try and chase him down. I think he's going to do it. Slav is going to try and chase him down. I think he's going to do it. Whether he does it cleanly is a different matter. Nathan's up to 8th. Obi-Wan on the mediums, which I don't know why you'd go mediums. There's well, Fracas was going to hold 4th. Until he does this. Fracas, you have not got away from me, my friend. I may have only roasted you once or twice, but now you're a target. You've considered yourself painted. As we're going to watch. Good job on the rejoin. Well done. But now you're in 7th. You had 4th. So we're going to stick on. We're going to stick with 4th position. Actually, where's? No, we're not. We're going to come back to that in a minute as Cap is now coming around 130i. He was the first driver to pit. And he said does a 201.9. That is a stunning lap and a half. As he comes around the last 2 corners. Don't overdo it. Good lad. as he's coming down the hill round the right-hander for the final time, as I see Schumacher loses out as Cap comes over the line to take victory at Suzuka for the sprint race. We then got Major coming over the line in second position. Good race from him. We then got Nectar in third, doing minimal, or allowing Cap to do as minimal damage as possible, so fantastic race from him. We then got Zimmer in fourth. Excuse me, we're currently fourth, providing there's no slippy slips. There isn't, so Zimmer comes over in fourth with Slav in fifth. Fracas in sixth with Nathan in seventh. We then got Obi-Wan. Good race from him, coming over in eighth. We then got Zeb in ninth. We got Quack in 10th. We then got Schumacher in 11th. After losing so many positions at the end, nearly got a reversed pole. We then got Pippa in 12th. We got Monk in 13th after having an interesting race. Oh no, 201.1, that's mad. As Monk comes over the line in 13th, we then got Beaumont in 14th. Someone's left us. I've lost track of who. Was it Monty? Monty has left us. I don't know when. We're going to follow this Lamborghini. So we got a Lamborghini at the front and the Lamborghini at the back. So we're going to Lamborghini sandwich today. So we got Finn coming around the corner in 15th for the final times. Come on, camera. That's better. Over he comes. That's his fastest lap. Fair enough. So, the no stop didn't quite work for Schumacher this time, which was unfortunate because it worked. There we go. Because it worked for both Yuri and myself in the sprint in tier 4. Now, strategy here, so it really all depends on the weather. So I'll just stand up for a second. God, I've got sawdust down my back. So the strategy here, there is really no strategy. Well, there is, but you've got to watch the weather the whole time. So for us, we had a bit of rain, a bit of dry, then quite a bit of rain, and then it sort of dried out towards the end. So probably about lap 9 or 10, no, 8 or 9, I think it was pretty much dry. My teammate and I made the fatal error of not staying out on inters, and we went in for wets, and that cost us about 20 seconds that we never really gained back. And then from there we were just trying to battle our way back, battle back, and it didn't really work. So we lost out on a top 5, which was unfortunate for us, but that was an hour server. This server, like I said, I wish I had a radar to see what see what was going on. Afternoon. Yeah, they were. The thing is, though, our moisture bar was like halfway through the top like wet bar. It was, instead of being sort of like a very light blue, it was halfway blue. So the pair of us just thought, yeah, the wet might actually be a quicker tyre, but come a lap after we had the wets on, it was like, no, that we should have stayed inters. Inters were actually the quicker tyre. Instead of losing a further 20 seconds, stopping for inters, and then going on, and then stopping again for slicks, we just thought, just stay on the wets until we get to slicks. Never mind. You live and you learn, as they say. Do 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 do. The proud watermelons. To be fair... Right, so it is... Okay. So we got Quack in first again. Let's hope he can start working his way forward this time. So we got Zap in second. We then got one of the two proud. Yeah, I did just have a sip, to be fair. We then got one of the two proud watermelons, as I've just been told, on wets, which is a fatal mistake. But it's not wet enough for wets. Unless it gets increasingly more wet, then I could be wrong. I'll hold my hands up. But we then got Nathan. We then got Fracas. Slap, the watermelon eater, I'm going to call him today. Just, yeah, the watermelon eater. That's what I'm going to call Slav today. So we only got the watermelon. Oh, no, I'm just going to call it Slav. Slav in 6th. Zimmer in 7th on the Inters. Nectar 8th. Inters. Major 9th. Captain 10th. Schumacher 11th. Pippa in 12th. Monk in 13th. And then the next wet driver is Beaumont in 14th. With Finn on the Inters in 15th. So everybody's gone Inters apart from Beaumont and Obi-Wan. So this ought to be interesting. So 20 laps. It is, oh yeah, okay, fair enough, I'll give it that. That is quite wet. So maybe the wets might have a slight advantage to begin with, but like I said, break off the racing line and you will, I say, have a slight advantage, as clearly Obi-Wan doesn't. No, he's just slow. He's not paying attention. Nathan goes past. Fracas goes past. Slab have a look. Slab has a look. And he makes it work. So Slav up to 6th. Obi-Wan losing 3 position. About to lose a 4th. Slav gets it sideways. Is about to lose that 5th. He has gone loose. And here comes Major. Major comes up the inside of Zimmer. He's been on Nectar behind. Nectar wanting to make Zimmer sideways. So Nectar's now going to go through. There's capitalise. Just Cap do his name and capitalise on the. As all the rain now stops as well. So now this track's going to be slowly drying out, as we can already see. There's some cars ahead already having a little squiggly moment. Everybody's surviving as we go through turn like 6 or 7 or 8 or something like that. Cap has to take an emergency avoidance and off onto the gravel. What happened? What made him do that? What's made you do that? Oh, that's okay, fair enough. Well played. You don't want to cause a massive collision, so very well played, as Cap now plummets to the P15 as we lost Monty as we go through. Beaumont's made up, not really making positions. Nobody back here is really making any positions. Are we going to make it through the hairpin? We are. Zab's losing out in loads. What's happened to Zab? Ah, this is what's happened to Zab. You're in 4th gear for a 2nd gear corner, my friend. That's really not going to work. So Fracas goes up to 3rd. Obi-Wan goes up to 4th. Zab drops it down. The order. Fair enough. I mean, to be fair, you took the avoiding action. You went on to the gravel. You didn't want to hit the pack, so fair play. That's what the What the fuck? Richard? Oh, that'll do it. He just touches the white line and uses Nectar as a guide, as like a guide rope, but doesn't quite make it work. Careful on the rejoin. So Cap's now just behind him. Let's jump back forward again as we got Schumacher versus Pippa. going around. Pippa's going to have the edge on the brakes. Like I said, they are on the grippier part of the track in the wreck. So Nectar up to 8th. At the moment, his championship rival was all the way down in the last. So Nectar really needs to make some ground up to really try and open up that gap a little bit more. And we're going to stay here for a minute. Oh, Schumacher has a look. Doesn't quite make it work. Who's gone wide? Who just went wide? I think everybody's alive. Just about everybody is alive. So I just spotted something, so we're going to go forward. As Quack doesn't quite get the turn right and nearly sideswipes the Alfa Romeo, so Nathan now leads us at the end of lap 1. We then got Quack in second after losing out in the first position. We then got Fracas with an angry mob behind him, all tussling and scuffling for positions. We can see headlights everywhere. As Major comes through in the inside of Obi-Wan, does Obi-Wan defend it? Obi-Wan manages to hold the speed, but Major's got the inside line, nearly takes out Fracas. As what happens up here, I'm too busy looking backwards, as Nathan cocks up the entirety of turn 1 and 2. Louds basically opens the door for Quackhouse and says, here, have it back. I feel bad. So Fracas is now going to try and exploit whilst he can. He can't quite. Fracas is taken to the gravel as Major's going to say thank you very much now. It's a Ferrari 1-2. Every single Italian is going to be jumping up and down now because it's a Ferrari 1-2 with an Alfa Romeo in third. It's a pizza and pasta special this today apparently. We then got Obi-Wan in 4th position. Trying to tussle for that top 3. Who's dropped back? Who's dropping back? What's happened? I saw someone drop back. That's not going to help. That'll be who I saw drop back a little bit. So Zimmer getting pushed a little bit by Pippa. Nectar goes through to 7th. Schumacher's going to try and capitalise, but I don't think it's going to work. Do we make it through these corners alive? Zimmer does up a beautiful move going up the inside of Nectar. Wow, I'm going to go back and watch that again. What a lovely move. And Schumacher comes through on that corner as well. What a fantastic move. And that, however, is not so fantastic, Slav. So, both watermelons are with the watermelon destroyer today. Yeah, well, Slav, that's not quite how you do the pass, mate. You don't really do a push pass now. Both watermelons are together. Are they going to try and work together to take down the driver that has been giving them problems all evening? You might have to wait until they catch up a little bit, but there could be potential. So, it's an Italian 1-2-3. These two going to fight? I hope not. As we look back, as Monk goes up the inside of Beaumont. Cap goes through, so Cap was in 15th. Now he's all the way back to being. There we go, he's now in 10th. Zab's now trying to catch up. Fracas, who was contesting for the podiums, now all the way back with his teammate. Fracas is clearly just having the same amount of luck as Red Bull this season in the F1 Championship. Goes up the inside of Beaumont, a fantastic move in the wet as well, as his teammate can't drive at all. What the At this point I'm not even surprised. Not the fact that it's just this driver, it's just interesting. Does Zab follow? He's at the back, he's got nothing to lose. No, yes, he does. So, both Supras come in. Who's gone wide? Monk's gone wide. Monk clearly doesn't know what a racing line is. At all. So Fracas stays out. Everybody apart from Zeb and the two Supras stay out. That's not going to help you, mate, at all. Fracas says thank you very much. Cap is now up to 7th, right behind his championship rival, who's so busy focusing on the watermelon of Obi-Wan that the teammate has gone through. He can probably now start to hear that V10 of that Lamborghini behind him. And he's... Oh, Cap nearly goes sideways as the BMW's right behind. Does the BMW try anything? No, not this time around. I think it'd be best if you actually just let them go. Who's cut the corner? Monk, again. Fracas nearly makes a mistake. That's... Get off. There we go. You got very lucky, to be fair. You got very lucky. The fact that you've A, not been reset, and B, not been given a penalty, and C, the fact you went inside and got caught by the grass, that is extremely lucky. Okay, these three are getting quite close. I'm curious up here. This is the battle I'm more concerned with. We're going to go back because I was too busy watching somebody else cock up. So, Obi-Wan gets hung out to dry. Nectar goes up the inside of Obi-Wan, and Cap goes up the inside of everybody, which is a really, really good move. And is now gone from 7th to 5th in one corner. Schumacher's going to have a look as well on Obi-Wan. Schumacher does have a look up the inside of Obi-Wan and gets the move done. Does Fracas come with? Fracas comes with him as well, so Obi-Wan just really getting hung out to dry on these wet tyres. So, Schumacher's now in 7th, Nectar's in 6th, Cap is now in 5th, considering he started 10th, and on lap 1 he was the last. So, Schumacher making good moves. Who's... Quack? What's happened to Quack? He was leading, with his teammate right behind. So the top 3 haven't really... Oh, that's not going to work, my dude. At least you do better than that. I'll take that back. I'll take that back very quickly. Just don't... Ooh. Careful on the rejoin. Careful on the rejoin. And there's other people off. Right, I just want to turn around and say something quick. Yes, Quack hasn't quite done as well as Zabo. Take it, he's got no damage. But when you're in this position, don't just drive onto... Well, okay, fine, you cross the track, but don't do this. Look, where's Nectar going to go? You're on the apex of the corner. Just go off over here for a second. Just cruise across. Or even cruise across this bit. Just try and get off the track as much as possible, because Nectar's got Fracas and Schumacher behind him, with Obi-Wan not far behind. Fracas is just doing Fracas things and doesn't know how to control or even drive a car. Nectar is right up Quackhouse's backside, as we've got Cap and Quack again going into the pit. But if you look, excuse me, so Fracas is kind of, I don't know, I think he... Let's have a look. So here you can see yellow flag. You know something's coming up. I don't know. Like, just be a little sensible, just a little bit. It's a yellow flag. Fracas brakes as if it's a green flag. Schumacher's now coming out a little bit. There is no room for Fracas to go to. Absolutely nowhere. Schumacher doesn't even know he's there. Collision's made because Fracas just comes rocketing in. Spins himself out, or gets spat out, well, nudged onto the grass, sorry. Spins himself around and out. because he's just coming charging like a missile that knows where it is when it clearly doesn't. But there's yellow flags. Schumacher's got nowhere to go because he's got Nectar in front. Nectar's got nowhere to go because Quack's rejoined. Bizarrely, I will admit. Finn joins him, but Fracas nearly hits Beaumont. It's just... Slav's gone onto the softs, which is a bad choice. She should have gone onto the mediums. Zimmer's gone onto the softs. She should have gone to the mediums. Zab, I think, has made the best choice as he's taken fuel on. Why didn't you just put a full tank in it? Yeah, I know I'm kind of being a little bit critical, and I know it's fair enough. You were ghosted, yeah, but ghosting should be turned off, and if ghosting was turned off, you and Beaumont would have had a huge crash, and you would have both of you would have had huge damage. Now, speaking of damage, Slav and Zimmer, okay, okay. Hold your horses. I say, speaking of damage, and damage is done. It's almost like irreversible damage last season in Tier 2. What the... Actually, I'm just going to jump on board for a second. I want to see the steering angle. There. Slav, what the... There, you can see Finn's braking. Slav is still flat out. We go forward, forward. There's a bit of snap of oversteer. Again, 2 going into 1. That's the trajectory we're going on. That's the trajectory that Finn's going on. And bang, contact made. There, you can even see it. Right there. Again, I'm surprised this wasn't... Excuse me, I'm surprised this wasn't reported. What the fuck? Right, so Monk's done... Okay, Slav's just done that himself. Sorry, I'm just jumping around at the minute, I know, but there's just so much going. Okay, Monk's done that himself as well. Slav does the same thing. But it's a yellow flag. Just lift off just a little bit. Just a smidge. I'm not saying lift off completely. As Quack does the same thing. You've done that so many times. Alright, fair play. You're staying off the racing line, well done. Right, so everybody apart from Fracas and the 2 Supras, to my knowledge, are on mediums. Everyone going around apart from obviously the grass, Finn, which being the wet runner. Everyone going around the outside of Finn. A good move from Finn as he just gets it wrong all by himself and goes off into the wall. This is just chaos. Right, so the front 3 come in. Where does this put Zimmer? Because, excuse me, so the front 5 come in. So Zimmer was the first one to pit. He is on softs. He's got to stop again anyway. So this is going to put him into the lead. I'm curious where this puts Cap, because Cap was net P5. Has he just undercut everybody? He has just undercut everybody. So Cap doing a really, really smart move is just undercut every single person is now in net P2. Well, I say, I reckon net P1 actually, because Zimmer's on softs. Major's behind, not all that far behind you. They're on a slightly fresher set of mediums, only a lap or so fresher, with Nathan behind, with Pippa with the 3. Oh, okay, I want to go back and watch this. Oh, on entry. Oh, there. I saw it. If you guys didn't spot, Schumacher's going to have the same problem. Look, they've crossed this white line here. That's the problem. They've crossed the white line. So both Pippa and Schumacher are going to have a 3-second penalty. Let's get back up to where we were, which is about here. Oh, don't worry, I'm going to roast away. There's nothing you can do to stop me roasting. I'm going to roast away. Yeah, I just... Whilst we got 30 seconds... I'm just... Yeah, 6-second turning. Huh? What? Okay. You're forgiven for that one. You're not forgiven for going on softs. You're not forgiven for nearly murdering a potato. Right. You're forgiven for going over the line the second time. I think that's extremely unfair and harsh, considering you've crashed and you've just lost out so many positions, and you've got so much damage. But why on earth did you go softs? Why? Everybody around you's on mediums. Let's find a battle. Let's find a battle. I think the closest battle is actually going to be back here. Yeah, it's going to be here. Did I just see what I thought I saw? Whilst we wait together, I'm going to take a little drink so I don't permanently damage my throat. I did, there's Beaumont. Okay, no, I thought I saw something else. Beaumont defends from Schumacher. Schumacher tries to attack, but he's got a 6-second penalty, which is going to put him way out of contention. Although, to be fair, I think he's... As Beaumont does Beaumont things. So, Beaumont goes off himself, opening the door for Schumacher, which is now going to open the door for Quack and Zab. Zab gets an exit of a lifetime on Quack, so does Quack show him the... No, Zab doesn't go for the attack. He should have. He had a really good run then. Fake the inside. Try and get Quack to move off the dry line and get him onto the wet stuff. So, remember how I mentioned earlier, wet tyres, when it's wet, you want to go off the racing line. As Schumacher serves as a huge penalty. When it's dry and it's in conditions like this, you want to do obviously the reverse, but on the attack you want to try and persuade. I say persuade. You want to try and get your opponent to defend the wet part of the track as best as you can. Basically, the defender's role at this point: don't move off the racing line, whatever you do. Let the other driver go onto the wet stuff. Now, going through... I think this is going to be an interesting battle. Yeah, you are seeing all the stuff around, and half of it's got yourself in it. Oh, hello, I've spotted something. We're going to watch this. So, Zimmer's on soft, Cap's on the mediums, and that was just made easy. Has Cap got cheats on? So Cap is now up into first position after starting in 10th, may I just add. And then he went to 15th at the end of lap 1. And now he's in first 6 laps later. So Cap's now going to be a force to reckon with for the rest of the season, I think, especially in that Lamborghini. Zimmer's going to try and stay with him as long as he can. The next one's Nathan in the third, so he's potentially going to get net P2 in the next couple of laps. Again, it depends on the weather. Major's in fourth. We've got Nectar in fifth, followed closely by Slav, who I'm intrigued to see if he doesn't move, where does he do it? Now, you can make the softs last a lot longer. How? By driving on the wet stuff. It sounds stupid, I know. Yeah, fair enough, but making the right tyre calls does help. Excuse me. So, Slav, in a minute, when we get down to the start-finish straight, if he goes to the pit wall now and gets on the wet stuff, he cools his soft tyres down, makes them last longer. So, those soft tyre runners... you turn stability assist on. Fair enough. So, those soft tyres could actually last... I wouldn't say the same amount of time as mediums, but probably not far off the same set as a medium. Alright, see you later, mate. Right, time to roast the hell out of Fracas whilst he's not here. As I was saying, those soft tyres in conditions like this, if Nectar stayed on the racing line and if Slav went between the racing line and on the straights into the wets, I reckon he could make those tyres last similar length to the mediums whilst being on softs. As Nectar gets all over the wet curb and keeps it on the track, and so does Slav, so good job from them. But Nectar's slowly pulling a gap. I think Slav's had a couple of iffy corners, or is his tyres starting to drop? I think we're on the crossover, well, so probably long past the crossover from where the mediums now outdo the softs. As Pippa is proving, as Pippa is now starting to catch Slav. So, now Slav is on the defence. How does this work out then? Let's keep an eye out for that, but I'm just going to go through the whole grid for a minute. Whereas Cap nearly loses it going through 130R. So we've got Cap in first, followed by Zimmer, followed by Nathan, who's on the softs. You should have gone medium so you can overshoot Zimmer, in my opinion, but let's see how this goes. So we got Nathan in third, we got Major in fourth, followed closely by Nectar. Excuse me. Followed by Slav, followed by Pippa, followed by Obi-Wan. So the two watermelons still together. So we got Fracas in 9th, we got Quack in 10th, we got Schumacher in 11th, we got Zab in 12th after starting in 2nd. So he's not having a great race at all. We got Monk in 3rd on the hard, so probably looking at going to the end. I'm not sure with what that fuel low can manage, but again, we got a lot of weather potentially coming in. We got Booman in 14th. Excuse me. And then we got Finn in 15th on the mediums. So let's see how that goes. Right, let's find a battle, which I think is probably going to be about here, I reckon. Oh, it's starting to rain. Starting to rain. Who's at the back? So Finn makes a really, really good choice. Being in the right place at the right time, comes straight in for Inters. So Cap's now got... everybody has to come in. Yeah, the feature was a bit terrible for me. So everybody's going to be diving into those pits. Beaumont can't get the car straight. Monk is struggling. Schumacher's off. I might have to re-whiz some. I might have to jump back a few of these as Quack's trying to drift, can't drift, and is now going to end up in the wall like Carlos Sainz did a couple of seasons ago here. So we got Zimmer down into 8th. He was up into 2nd. He was in 2nd. So his teammate Slav's down in 7th. We got we got the watermelons both moving up 2 positions. We got Major staying where he is. We got Nectar now up to 3rd position, so good job from him. Right. This is now Finn's time to shine. So both Mumon and Monk are just coming up to the hairpin, whilst Finn is on the correct tyres for the correct weather. He's now coming up under the bridge. I think this is going to be... What the hell? I'm going to jump back because I want to watch this. Impressive. Excuse me. Right, so Cap's gone out, back out. Everybody should be on the inters. If they're not, I'm going to slap them. Be in the right place at the right time and get on the right tyre at the right time. Because Monk is only still going. Jesus Christ. Turbo kicking? Yep. What was that? 5? Let's count it. I'm impressed. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. About 5. Anyway, I'm going to give Finn his moment of shining glory as Schumacher's still stationary. Finn comes charging down the main straight. Schumacher wisely gets out of the way, so Finn now up to 13th. Excuse me, his next target is Mumon in 12th, which is now going to be going into the pit lane. Don't make me laugh too much, Jesus, you're going to make me die. Yeah, this race, someone just put up saying this race reminds me... Oh yeah. This race reminds me of a beer I had once. The beer is much better than the race. But you both make me spit. So, Finn up to 12th. Considering he was way back in last. We now got Zeb versus Slav. Excuse me as I just take a little drink. So does Zeb have a little lurk? No. But does Slav do a Slav moment? That might be it. Zeb didn't quite get the X he was after going under the bridge, so I don't think he's going to get anything done this time. Nope, Zab decides to go and plough the gravel and cut the grass. So Slav stays where he is for now. We'll stay on this camera angle for a minute. As Quack goes through, followed closely by Finn. So Frack's got himself a 3-second time penalty. Probably on entry, to be fair. I want to roast you, but the tyres are too cold for anything to be roasted on, so I'll leave that one there. Zimmer down into 7th position. He was up to 2nd at one point. There's not really a battle going on. Potentially the 2 BMWs were about to be lapped on lap 9. So where do these guys get out the way? Are they going to wait until he gets a bit closer? The blue flags are out for them. Now, for those I'm not quite sure what it means by that, it means get the hell out of the way, there's a faster car behind you. But I don't think these 2 drivers are going to take much attention to that, because they're having their own little battle. Let's jump on board with Monk as Monk goes all over the back of his teammate. Does he make a move this time? No, he's having a look. He wants to give it a good go. Now the fact that Cap's really close behind him, I'd be more inclined to get out of the way, which they do. Good job, guys. Well done. Put your own personal battle aside for a second, let the faster driver through so you get no penalty. But we're going to stay with them because they are together, they are fighting for position as they go through 130 Schumacher defends. Do they both make the corner? They're both just about keep it on with track limits, in track limits. So Monk's going to have to wait this time around as we got Nathan coming around not far behind him as well. So these guys are about to be lapped by a couple of drivers, excuse me. Let's jump back through this, find a battle. To be honest, I think the closest battle on track is actually the two teammates. Now, considering we just had a massive rainstorm, starting to dry out, I would potentially look at going to a slick. I might have even gone in for a slick. Stay on, just looking at the moisture meter down the bottom left as we're staying with Schumacher on the racing line. Excuse me, let's go back to Monk. It's dry enough. Does anyone try the pit? Obi-Wan and Zimmer does. So with 10 laps to go, you should really be filling up for 10 laps. There goes the mediums. So Obi-Wan's doing a very similar strategy to what I did, minus the fact that we didn't have wet, dry, wet, dry. We just had wet, wet, dry. So Slav overtakes his teammates onto the softs again. Why onto the softs again? Why not the mediums? Okay, we'll have to keep an eye on them. I'm watching the little mini map. Let's have a little look at these two again. Don't think anything's going to happen this lap. I want to get back to these two because excuse me, as we've got the two teammates together, team order's going to come into effect, or are they going to race? Slav really should get out of the way. Team orders should really come in, and I think they they have. Good job. So Slav not wanting to let slow his teammate down too much, as Zimmer does not use all the dry track. So Zimmer's going to try and use those soft tyres to great effect. Nathan comes in, but his teammate stays out. And wise enough doing what I was talking about earlier and using the wet part of the track to cool down the tyres. Now, that tactic can be used down the straight on both dry and wet. You've just got to be a little bit more careful, obviously, on dry tyres. So Pippa comes in as well. Nathan comes out on the softs. Be careful on the wet stuff. There we go. So, Obi-Wan versus Fracas. Fracas is still on the inters. Unless a rain cloud and that I cannot see is coming in, you should really have gone on to the dry tyres, but we will see. Fucking hell. As everyone has a look up the inside, can't quite get it to work this time as we jump on board because the camera angles, internet nano mode, are more cancerous. Around the outside and dry tyres. No, 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 no. That's not what you do at all. Your own hatch up anyway because you're on dries. Don't get out too wide on that wet stuff. You want to keep it on the dry. Right, so let's have a look through the grid. Cap stays out on a really, really dead set of Vinters. Do you come in? He does come in. What does Nectar do? So Nectar's got a lot more life in those tyres. He's been running on the wet bit, on the wet patches as well to try and prolong the life. What does he do? He comes in as well. So Nectar comes in. Okay, let's jump back a moment. So Nathan, who's changed over to the softs, has already caught up to Major. What happens here? Major's tyres, who are dead and his rears are shot, can't keep the rear of the car stable, and Nathan just drives straight on through. So Nathan now back up to into P3. Major can't keep the car under control because there's absolutely no rear grip at all. He needs to come in because he's going to lose so much time. And speaking of losing so much time, Fracas is back here, still holding on to 5th position with the driver of Obi-Wan and Pippa behind him. So what goes on here? Well, Fracas just does his thing and can't stop. He can't stop the good times rolling, as they say. So Obi-Wan up to 4th, Pippa up to 5th. Zimmer, who's undercut excuse me, quite a few people, up to 6th. Major down to 7th, and he was in 4th position. So he's lost three spots by just having no rear grip at all. I didn't even check. So Cap's gone on to mediums. Nathan's still ahead of his teammate, who's in 3rd position. Who's that had a penalty? Is that a lapped car? I love the sound of that screaming RX vision. Whoa! I heard that. So Finn chasing down Quackhouse for 11th, just locks his tyres up and just goes donk. Yeah, having no ABS is not a smart idea. You can have weak ABS. That's what I have. I personally prefer it because it means I feel like I can stop better, but that's personal feelings. Why are you coming into the pits? What? Hey. Okay, I think it's about to start raining because Beaumont just got himself a 3-second time penalty for cutting the corner. Now these boys... Monk had a 3-second penalty for cutting the corner as well. Schumacher, I think, changed back to inters. I think there's going to be some rain coming. Let's find out. Yeah, rain's coming. Because Finn's gone on to the intermediates. Schumacher comes out on the intermediates but's got a 3-second penalty. Okay. So those guys are predicting rain. Oh, Nathan, that's not good, mate. Now, if those guys have gone on to inters, it's telling me that potentially rain could be coming, but at the same time, have they called it out? Never mind, there it is. Well called. So those guys are clearly using their radar. Who comes in? Who comes in? Fracas, you stupid idiot, you shouldn't have come in. Sorry, I don't mean to be offensive here at all. Oh, Slav's got himself a 3-second penalty. Zav, come in. Zav, come in. Just staying out, okay. What does Quack do? Was that just a quick shower? Apologies, it might have just been a quick shower. If so, I'm sorry, I don't mean to call you a stupid idiot. I can't see the radar. My apologies. I got that all wrong. That's me. On me. So, it was just a quick shout. Never mind. I'm clearly the stupid one. I'm clearly the stupid idiot today. So, maybe the inters weren't such a good idea then. Well, there you go. There's a lap later. So, apologies. That was my fault. No, careful. Let's find a battle. Okay, there's not really any battles at all. Which is annoying. Okay. Apologies, I can't, as you can see, I can't see radar at all. So, apologies. Right, I'm glad I saw that. I'm gonna go back because I'm gonna go back and watch that. You are way too committed. Way too committed. That would work in the dry. If it was dry, that would have worked. In the wet, that doesn't work. Who's behind? Right. Sorry, I'm flicking through so much. I'm trying to find a battle for us to watch and for me to actually... What did I just witness? What did I just witness, Major? That's a control... Okay, that's control of a set... That's not the racetrack, my friend. Okay. Bong. Sorry, I just love the sound of the Mazdas. Remember when it came out in GT Sport? Oh, what a car. Right, I think potentially the fight for P10 might be our closest. I just want to make sure. Fight for P10 and P13. Never mind, Slav comes in, so the fight for P10 is no longer a thing. There's not really much going on. So, yeah, there's not really much going on. There's not really much to report on, to be fair. So, we'll have to... Ooh. Nope, okay. I thought I saw something. No, I didn't. Right, so Slav's gone back onto the softs. Quack's on the mediums. Slav's got a lot of ground to make up in 5 laps. I'm not going to lie to you, I don't think that is possible. The only way it's possible is if Quack does a Quack and decides to kiss the curbs. What is this? Is this just a lap sandwich? It is, but... Excuse me. This could potentially be quite interesting. Because there's lap traffic, so everyone wants to clear this quite quick. Typing. There we go, now he's back. There's a lot of cars here. Right, so Schumacher's got right out of the way. Schumacher getting right out of the way has just made him lose a position to his teammate, who now just decides to yeet himself off the track. These both... Oh, boys, this is sloppy. Everyone is now stuck behind Schumacher. Schumacher's trying to get out of the way. Oh, careful. Both BMWs making an absolute hash of that job, and now this has helped Major a lot, because Major's now right up in the back of Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan's not far off Zimmer. So it's the mediums versus the mediums. We got Ferrari versus a Renault. We got the Italians versus the French. Oh, careful. As Obi-Wan's now onto the wet stuff of the track. Whether that was a push or not, I don't actually know. I'm going to go back and watch that. It's there. Sorry, I don't often do this at all, but I don't know. Again, the stewards never... There was no stewards reports. I think it was a push because of how much acceleration Obi-Wan gets. You'd be able to tell from this camera angle. Yeah, that's a push. You could tell because of the way his speed increased quite dramatically. So, Major with a bit of a push pass in my opinion, but it's only my opinion. We got Zimmer on some very dead softs. He's got 4 laps to try and nurse those tyres around. I don't think he's going to do that. He's going to lose a lot of time. If he stays out for these 4 laps, I reckon Obi-Wan's going to get him. Potentially Pippa. If he boxes, he's going to come out behind this lot, potentially around the fracas area, but if he comes out on softs, he's going to have a massive tyre advantage over all his opponents. So, what does he do? He stays out. Okay, is he going to stay on the dry line or is he going to go to the wet stuff? He's going to stay on the dry. Okay. Have I missed tier? I don't think so, mate. I don't think you've missed tier 4. I haven't seen tier 4. I'm going to jump back to the teammates because... No, it's not the teammates. So, Monk's ahead of Schumacher because Schumacher had a 3-second time penalty. Schumacher's also still on the intermediates, so... Ooh, Finn. What have you done, my friend? Yeah, that'll do it. Nah, I'd do it. Now to boom on the very, very dead intermediates. Capitalise. Yes. Yes, he does. Except for the fact you are on dead inters. I don't. My brain hurts. My brain hurts a lot. Right, so Slav's come around the last corner and Quack is around at turn 3. So Slav, I don't think Slav's getting P10 anytime soon. Zab's on his own in P9, Fracas is on his own in P8. Slowly starting to chase down Pippa though in P7. Obi-Wan's in P6, sort of in a bit of no man's land. Major's really reeling in Zimmer, so we're going to stay on with Major for a bit, since I think this is going to be the only battle we're going to see on track. Nectar's in 3rd, Nathan's in 2nd, quite a bit down the road, and then way down the road is Cap. So, I think, to be honest, it'd be... If these two are talking on a PlayStation call or Discord call, I personally think these two need to swap positions. Excuse me, and I think... No, Nathan's just doing it in Nathan way. Yeah, in my opinion, these two need to swap positions. For the championship, it would be better for Nectar to get 2nd. It'd be doing a lot less damage than if he stayed in 3rd. You'd still get the same amount of points for 2nd and 3rd because all you're doing is just swapping the drivers. It's basically like McLaren at Monza. I know team orders, people don't like it a lot of the time, but we're round 3 of the championship. We're nearly halfway there. Now, I want to jump back because I've just seen a name change and enough about diplomacy. So we got Pippa versus Fracas. Fracas has just reeled in Pippa. So coming charging down into turn 1. Let's jump on board. Fracas just sends it into turn 1. A really good move from Fracas there into turn 1. We got Everyone's still there now. We got Major versus Zimmer for P4 on track. You swap. I know it sucks. I get it's horrible, and you don't want to do it because you want to race for the wins and whatnot. But Nectar versus Cap in the championship. Cap wants any chances. We got Major versus Zimmer as their side by side going under the bridge, around to the right. Zimmer backs out and Major takes 4th position with massive tire advantage. Zimmer's fronts are dead. He's going to start dropping off the cliff. Yeah, I get it sucks, but for Nectar to catch this man who's won the sprint is probably most likely about to win this feature, unless he disconnects or unless something happens. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to play the team game, and if those couple of points have made the difference between Nectar winning and losing this the Drivers' Championship, then in my opinion, I think it's worth it. But it's down to you guys, and it's down to how you guys feel. So Fracas is just driven away from Pippa. I think Pippa's starting to struggle a little bit. Jesus. It wasn't really by design. No comms, so I didn't even know he was third. I'm a VR. Oh, fair enough. How did you swap then if you didn't know? Or am I about to find out? So Zimmer comes in. He's going to lose out. I reckon he's going to lose out to Quack. Oh, not quite. Right, so Zimmer down into 9th. He should have pitted a bit earlier because he's put way too much fuel in as well. Way too much. Although Zab he should be alright. Looking at the fuel load, he should be okay. Although he's the lowest running of everybody. So, Fracas up to 6th. Finn's just had a Finn moment. So, Pippa's still keeping up with Fracas, not really losing touch. Everyone's still there. Nectar's still there, and Nathan's still there. So unless Nathan pits, if you pit, then it's not really a swap, is it? No, it's not. So Cap's on the last lap of the race. So's a Nathan, and Nectar's about to be. So we're going to have a little look through. I want to have a little skim through and see if there's anybody close. Everybody's sort of on their own at the moment. I mean, this is really the closest battle we've got. It's not really a battle at all. It's just you're just driving. So, in this case, we're going to stay on with Cap for a little bit. Actually, no, we're not. Sorry, we're going to swap down to Nathan. That'll be why you swapped. That's where the swap happened, and the swap happened because you fucked up. Yeah, you probably should have paid. Probably would do a lot less damage. As you've come off again. Right, I'll come back to you and I'll give you your moment of shame in a minute. So, around the last corner, pretty much untouchable throughout the second half of this race as he drifts sideways just to show off a little bit because he can, and he's got the gap to Nectar, who's just come out of their hairpin, to spin around, fuck up and drive on and still win the race. As we go through 1:30 for the final time with our leader in the Lamborghini. As we go right and left and then downhill to the right, Cap, for the last time as captain of the Lamborghini, of the Italian, comes across and wins the feature race, to having a double victory this round. We've got Nectar coming down the back straight for the last time through 130R. I just noticed that Nathan's plummeted from 3rd to 7th. You definitely should have pitted, because I can still see you spinning around now, which I'm going to give you your moment of glory in a bit. So Nectar comes around the final corner to take 2nd position. Again, minimise that point loss to Cap for his in the championship. We have then got Major, who had no rear tyres at one point, come around the final corner to take 3rd position. So really, really good strategy, guesswork and race in general from Major. We got Obi-Wan Kenobi finally in the top 5. I think it's the first time in the top 5. So good job from him. We then got Fracas in, doing a fantastic job coming around the final corner for 6th position. We got Zimmer after pitting, managed to get past, I think, Zab for 7th position. Zab coming around at the final corner for 8th position. Excuse me. We're then going to follow Quack through 130R, coming down to the right left for the last time as he's nearly out of fuel. As Schumacher stacks it behind him, coming down the hill, round the corner for 9th position goes to Quack. We got 2 dead tyres. But then got Nathan. You should have pitted. Finished in 10th. We then got Slav in 11th for what I want to do. Because I can. Because you should have pitted. So you spin out here. You let your teammate through. Really, really good of you. You tried to get going. Nice and gently. Let's watch the direction change. And around you go for the 2nd time. Let's let you get fixed up. I'm going to do this because you should have pitted. Thank you very much. I would need it this evening. I will come to that in just a moment. So we go right, you touch the curb and you go off again. And there goes through Major to take 3rd position as he just cheers with joy. As you get the rejoin, it's just about okay. You're now down to 5th. Now being unlapped yourself. Here comes Fracas. You're going to go around this right-hander and start spinning out, I reckon, or definitely spin out on the left. There we go. There it is. Ah, Nathan, you should have pitted. You should have pitted. You're going to lose it through here as well. There we go. This is going to feel like a very, very long lap. Oh. And that's why you need to rejoin carefully, folks, because that is exactly what happens. Excuse me. I get in VR, it's not easy. You can't see much, but you've got to be careful on the rejoin. That is the drive of shame if I've ever seen one. There's nothing coming behind you, you're in VR and you have no idea. And I think at this point you've kind of just accepted fate. Any consolation, here comes Quack on tyres, and there's Nathan. You're staying right out of the way, fair enough, but... You did crash everywhere. You should have pitted. You should have pitted because you would have been about 4th or 5th. You would have brought home some good points. Some really good points. Now, you make it through this corner, but I just want to point out Slav has got absolutely no front at all. So he's got rear tyres, he just has no front. Now, with that in place, that's the end of Tier 5 for this round. Now, currently as it stands, the standings post-Stewart's, considering there was somehow no reports. Nectar, who had an 18-point, has now got an 18-point lead to Cap. Cap, even though he won both rounds, Nectar doing just enough with Zab in third place after having a horrible past couple of rounds. He's not really had good rounds at Road Atlanta or this evening, last week, with Zimmer in fourth and Schumacher in fifth. Now, rounding off in the standings, we've got the Alfa Romeos in first with 134 points, the Mazda RX Visions with 100 points, and rounding off the top three is the Toyota Supra with 91 points. So, it is a Watkins Glen this evening, so it's going to be heavy on the tyres, it's going to be heavy on the front left, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be very heavy on the front left, so tyre management's probably going to be key, and strategy is also going to be key as well. That being said, take care everybody, and we will see you soon.